morning, people. This is Divine Feminine Lorraine coming at you. Um, a little message, I guess, this morning. I got a couple of things I got to do this morning, but anyways, this goes out to the family, because just because you're born into a family doesn't mean you necessarily are the same. May have the same blood, but you're not the same type of people. Another thing, never underestimate the underdog. Just because that underdog was in trouble back in the day, and I never really was in trouble. I never really got in trouble with the law. The only thing I was guilty was about partying. I always had a thing for going out to the clubs and partying. That was my weakness. As far as being promiscuous and stuff like that, no. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that back in the day I didn't have people, approach me and stuff like that. But I wasn't that easy, and I wasn't the type of person that always just be giving it out, to anybody. Never prostituted, never did anything for drugs. If I didn't have the money, I didn't do it. I fucking withheld and went through withdrawals if I didn't have money for my drugs. I didn't suck cock or lay down and spread my legs for anybody for drugs. I didn't do that. If I didn't have money, I fucking sucked it up and fucking went through the withdrawals and fucking basically, you know, I refuse to be like that. Something about me, and I'm not talking shit about the people that have to do this kind of weird ass shit, but luckily I was in a position where I normally always had money, whether financially with jobs or with being married, financially secure. I didn't have to worry about shit like that. And even when I didn't, and when I went through the struggle of being homeless, I still had income coming in and I still made do, but I just didn't sell myself for the shit, for the drug. I never stooped like that, and I'm not talking shit about people that do this shit, because addiction is addiction, and it's serious, for some people. It's like people will do the craziest things that they normally wouldn't do if they were sober, People will engage in orgies and all weird ass shit, for drugs, or get raped or trained or whatever you want, get trained, or what's the word for it when you get people put a train towards you or whatever, okay? I don't know what the fucking word is. My Spanglish gets in the way of my fucking words sometimes, but you know what I'm talking about. So basically, I have a sister out there, man, who she can't believe that I figured some shit out about her ass, right? Who is the one, and I know it has to be her and my brother because they're the only two fucking con artists in the family. You understand what I'm saying? They're the ones that have been in trouble and done time in prison for their behaviors. My brother got caught money laundering or I don't know what the fuck he did. It had to do with money and drugs and guns and shit like that. And my sister basically was running a meth house back in the day, back in like the 90s. Now, keep in mind, family's family, right? Thinking that I do care about my family. I do love them. But it doesn't mean that I have to put up with their shit. And that sister, man, she put me through a lot of hell. The sister that probably took that inheritance of the house. And the one that's getting karma right now as we were speaking. She wants to know why I ghost her, why I don't want to talk to her. Well, let's think about that, right? Let's think about all the shit you try to do to me. We can keep distance from a distance, but I am not helping you while you get locked up in prison. Don't think I'm going to give you commissary money. I'm not trying to be mean, but you guys left me to die, to dry out and die out. Basically, you didn't fucking give a fucking hoot about what happened to me. As a matter of fact, you were behind the whole situation, which is sad to me because this sister is 10 years younger than I am. And my mom went through a lot when she left my father and stuff like that. And unfortunately, my sister was young at the time. And I had a sister that died of encephalitis, of a mosquito bite back in the 80s. Well, this sister became the baby because the other one that passed away was the baby of the family. So the next one was the sister that I'm speaking of. So she was kind of neglected because once my sister died, even though she became the baby, everybody was focused on the death and everybody was mourning over the death, and maybe in ways she took it harsh, Maybe we didn't realize that she was being neglected even though she was still a child. She was only 7 years old when our sister that was 6 died. They were very close. They were a year apart, and maybe it was traumatic for her. I give her that. Maybe because my family didn't communicate and we didn't speak about our issues and our problems within each other, that we were raised to be tough, don't cry, take your ass whoopings, take the spank, you get your ass beat, you take it, and you know what? Don't come home if you get your ass beat, because you come home with your ass beat, my mom's gonna go and beat your ass along with the person who beat your ass, kind of fucking mentality, It was like, don't come home if you got your ass kicked, basically, because my mom would say, what they didn't do to you, I'm gonna beat your ass when you get home too, because you're not gonna come home losing a fight. This is the mentality that we grew up in, unfortunately. It was like a very violent environment to where you fought for everything. Me and my sisters were throwing down all the fucking time. I threw down with two sisters at one time. I mean, we were constantly fist fighting, and this is nothing to be bragging about or proud about. I look back to the shit, and it's like my parents, even though they were good parents, they were immature in ways, and abusive. And they allowed this shit to happen. They allowed us to play against each other. They allowed this competition to happen within each other, okay? My mother was part, I love her to death. She was a good mother, but yet she played her daughters against each other. She would love one of us one week and hate us the next week. And then she would combine the other ones and talk bad about the one that was the bad in her shit, in the doghouse that week. That was the one that would, and normally I was the one that was always in the doghouse. So I was the one that they were always talking shit about. I'd walk into the room and they all were talking shit and they'd all shut up. That kind of environment. And I'd walk out the room and then they start whispering and talking shit again. And then I'd walk in the room and they'd stop. So I was always the one that was the outcast, but it's because I always spoke up and I'd always ask questions about shit. And if I didn't like something, even at a young age, I would ask my parents why they were doing that, why they were behaving in that manner, why they were cheating on one another, why they were abusing each other, why were they even married if they couldn't stand each other. That's the kind of child I was, and maybe I got on their nerves. Like I get on a lot of people's nerves right now. But I honestly don't mean to be evil to people. My intentions, even though I get mad and I throw tantrums, because I feel like I throw a tantrum. And when I make my little comments on YouTube, there are little tantrums that I throw. There's the inner child that didn't get to speak up as a child. She speaks up now, and it's only because she didn't get to speak up as a child. And I know it has nothing to do with you guys. And it's like, and what the fuck do you have to be writing on my comments for? And why do you got to be fucking talking shit to me? And I look back and I understand, okay, that you guys all get caught up in this backfire of people. But I also believe that when I act like that, it's because I'm actually being attacked by these witches or these warlocks or whoever the fuck is throwing spells at me, and it's like a reaction to their fucking bullshit, right? And maybe I tend to take it out on people that maybe I shouldn't, but in reality, I'm not trying to. It's just my inner child comes out, the little tantrum, the little kid that got neglected, the person that was hurt by people, tends to come out. And I'm not using it as an excuse. I take total responsibility, accountability for my actions. I'm a woman enough to apologize when I need to apologize. I will apologize to somebody if I feel like I've been rude. And this is an apology to the ones that I have been rude to on YouTube. Anyways, so let that be known. It is an apology. Because in reality, my days are to be happy, cheery, make people laugh. And not because I'm sad inside. Because what's the point in going through life always pissed off and mad? And people take shit so seriously. I mean, even at work, I get upset because people get so mad at me if I make one little mistake at work. I've been there like almost 3 months and they still get mad and expect me to be perfect. And I got like this older person, she gets so pissed at me and she gives me a hard time. And I'm going to tell you the truth. She made me cry one day. I got in tears, but not because I was a big baby, but because she hurt my feelings so bad, and I had a respect for her and I like her a lot. You know, I was so fucking mad. I wanted to curse her out. I couldn't. I held it in and I just cried about it. I cried inside and she saw my tears come down and she felt bad. She's like, "Oh no, you're crying." I said, "No, I'm not. I'm all right. Don't worry." She's like, I said, "Yeah, because you hurt my feelings, but it's all right. I got to take it, right?" And this is just a woman, because I respect this lady. I like her. I want to get along at work. I don't want to have enemies at work. I'm not a kiss ass. I'm not trying to be everybody's best friend, BFF, bestie. I'm not trying to be like that. I come off real. I am fucking real as you fucking can imagine. I am who I am. I ain't gonna be anything else. And I don't care if I talk, this phonics shit. My ghetto part comes out. But and I could talk proper if I wanted to. I ain't gonna lie to you. I could talk proper if I need to. Let me just fucking point that out. And I could probably not curse if I didn't want to. My nose is itchy. Anyways, there's nosy people around. Anyways, so this message is to that sister that thinks that I fucking ghosted her. Well, you're damn right I ghosted your ass. What the fuck else do you expect me to do, bitch? I mean, you're luckily that I ain't over there trying to kick your ass. And not really, I wouldn't do that. Yes, I would, but no. That's probably why it's better that I don't go to court and see all this shit, because I'd be one of those bitches trying to jump off the fucking, coming at them while they're sitting on the stand and shit. But no, it's best that I am very angry with her. Very angry. But I forgive her, but it's going to take me a while. It's a lot of healing. This is family. This is a sister that I adored. This is a sister that I treated like a child because she was 10 years younger than I was, and she was being neglected, and she needed somebody to be there for her. And I tried to be that older sister for her ass. I tried to be there for her. I did everything for her. I risked even arguments with my spouse at the time because this bitch was always in trouble, getting her tire slashed, pissing off the girls in the clubs because my sister, is, I don't know what she looks like now, but I mean, she was pretty back then. She's Puerto Rican. She had a lot, and she was into black men, and some of these girls hated her ass, and they wanted to jump her ass all the fucking time. And I don't know if she was fucking their men. I don't know, because I was at home raising kids and married, but I'd be getting these phone calls. The bitches were going to try to jump her. You need to come to the club because they're trying to jump my ass, and there I go, And then not just that, they'd slash her tires. I paid for her tires. These are little things that I did for her because she's my sister, and I took care of her. I mean, I was like an older sister to this bitch. So it hurts me to think that she would think that I wouldn't have shared something with her. To think that she would be that hateful and that jealous of someone who always loved her. Who didn't see this coming. Okay? That's it. I don't want to cry. And to be betrayed and to be let down by somebody that you adored, somebody that you raised like a child, like a younger sibling, but held her at a whole nother level, with my children, that it's hard for me to imagine that if she was part of this unaliving shit, the gang stalking, the whole shebang, trying to make me go insane, trying to make me get locked up in fucking jail or prison, to stoop that fucking low when I helped her out when she went to prison and answered all her motherfucking phone calls. The little bitch was crying the whole time. I was pregnant and I was going through stress with her ass because she was locked up for like 2 or 3 years, man. And she was pissed off because she was locked up, and she called me every day. Back then in the 90s, them fucking phone bills were fucking high. I must have had like a $500 or $1,000 phone bill from this bitch calling me collect. And I would answer her calls, and I would try to cheer her up, telling her that you did the time, you did the crime, but just, you'll be out of there soon. At least you ain't locked up for a long time, bitch. I was there trying to fucking pepper up, whatever you want to call it, pepper, Spanglish. I was trying to get her to realize that it wasn't the end of the life, that she was going to come out eventually, and that she was going to be all right, and I was there for her through thick and thin, like I was there. Now who's going to be there for you when you're locked up for a long time? Who's going to be there for you? I can't be. I can't. Because you did the ultimate evil betrayal to somebody that you should have never done that to, and you know better. You knew better. But you did it out of jealousy, hate. I don't know. I don't know what I ever did to you for you to want to destroy me and hurt me that bad. But I wish you well. And I hope God has mercy on you. And that is my message to you, that I have every right to feel the way that I do, and I have every right to disconnect myself from my family and to say no. We all have the right to say no. I have free will. Just like you have free will to make the decisions that you made against me. and the consequences of your actions. You did this to yourself. I had nothing to do with it. I didn't even know what was going on. I had to figure this shit out myself. I didn't know about no fucking inheritance. I didn't know all this shit that was happening. Who it was behind it. It took me a while to figure this shit out. It took me, but I don't know, 5 years to figure this shit out. Because I started thinking about the whole thing and thinking, who would be behind this? Who would know all this information? Who would be wanting this? Who would be this? It took me a lot. And I know there's more people involved, but this goes out to those that were involved that I have forgiven all of you guys. Trust me. I have come a long way in the forgiving part. But allowing you back into my life and allowing you guys to think that it's ever going to be the same, you're mistaken. You're highly, highly mistaken, because of the fact that I didn't deserve this shit. And so I leave this message to the people that, yes, I have peace. And yes, I may have still more healing to do when it comes to this, because this is like something very painful to me that I've had to endure and had to deal with. But I'm dealing with it, I'm not running away from it. I'm fucking dealing with it wholeheartedly and trying to come in a space in my life and a space in my heart that really needs to heal and really needs to forgive these people, which I am. But I can't rush it and I can't force it. It all will come when it's supposed to be. And I pray every day for healing for myself and for everybody else. So with that note, know that I'm not bitter inside. I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. I'm enjoying my life. And it made me a better person. But, life goes on, right? Life will go on for you all too. Those that are no longer going to be part of my life, life will go on for you too. You make the best of what you can. Ask for forgiveness, repent, pray, and, and heal. Heal from this. It's all a lesson for all of us to learn. To me, there is no winner. There's been nothing but sinners. No winners but sinners, And we all learn, because I am nobody to judge anybody, okay? Just the next time we all need to make better decisions and better, and think about what we do about hurting somebody and thinking that somebody's life, just because they were an addict at the time, has no meaning, has no reason to live. Who are we to take that thought and that consideration and that motion into wanting to hurt somebody or unalive somebody or to take them out of this world just because we don't like them or because we're envious of them or we're jealous of them? Who are we to make that decision? Who are we to decide that who should live and who should die and who should have this and who should not? Who are we to make that decision is where comes in the confusion, not confusion, but the how dare you, how fucking dare you motherfuckers think that you can go and decide who shall live and who shall not. Bullshit. Well, I'm here to tell you bullshit on that one. Big time, like you counted me out, motherfuckers. You guys counted me the fuck out. And I'm still here and I'm still going to be here. I don't give a shit. If I'm 80, 100 years old, I will still be here. What I'm doing is none of nobody's business but my own. What I'll be doing till then or how I live my life is my fucking business. And who I choose to have in my life is my business. And it's going to be my own free will and my own decision on who I accept anymore in my life, and how I move forward. So with that, I just want to wish everybody healing and blessings, and just to heal and pray for forgiveness, but not from me, from God and to yourself. So God bless you guys and have a wonderful Tuesday, guys. Shalom.